My name is Sydney. I'm the volunteer manager at the Big Cat Sanctuary here in Stanford in the Western Cape. We are a sanctuary for big cats who come from abusive or neglectful captive situations. And we have two main goals. The first to, of course, rescue these animals and give them a safe forever home, but also to educate the public about the issues that big cats are facing in captivity. So the founders of the Big Cat Sanctuary are named Catherine and Lizanne. They are two women who used to work at another big cat project in the Free State. They looked after many animals there. They bonded quite closely with them, but they realized that many of them were being sold and traded away to homes that were not very nice. So eventually they dreamt up the Big Cat Project and they began bringing those animals here so that they could guarantee that those animals would have the best and safest life possible. The thing is, there are many projects that people can volunteer at, particularly in South Africa if you are someone who's really interested in working with animals. The problem is there are a lot of places that don't have the animals' best intentions at heart, and they're very deceitful. So we are one of the very few true big cat sanctuaries in South Africa, and a true sanctuary will follow three very important rules. One is that we don't breed the animals here. Secondly, we do not allow any petting or interaction with the animals, physical interaction, and we do not trade or sell. So all the animals have a forever home here with us. So these are super important rules. It means that we are not adding to the issue of raising captive big cats because there are way too many in captivity already. And there's actually no conservation value to breeding big cats in captivity, as they're just animals that are going to have to live their whole life behind a fence. With the petting, unfortunately that's a big tourist trap. People oftentimes will pay to pet cubs or raise cubs, bottle feed cubs, and they're usually told that they're orphans or they're abandoned or they're going to be released into the wild someday. But unfortunately with these animals, once they're so habituated to people that they're being hand raised, there's no chance that they're going to go into the wild. So it's actually a big scam, and a lot of people will come and pay a lot of money to have a really beautiful experience bonding with a little cub and raising it and having it sleep in their bed with them, and they think they're doing this really beautiful thing for the animals, but really it's not for conservation at all, and the people are just taking their money. And then that animal later on will usually be exploited in some other way, either for lion walking or even maybe in a canned hunt. It'll be sold into a canned hunt when it's older. Yeah, so that's why it's so important that we follow those three rules of no trading, no breeding, no interacting. And those are sort of the red flags to look for when you're looking at a project with animals. So at the Big Cat Sanctuary, a volunteer really will get super involved with everything that the staff does as well. You'll really get a good idea. You can hear our lions in the background. You can really get a good idea of what it takes to run a Big Cat Sanctuary and to care for these animals. Anything from cleaning enclosures. That's not always a glamorous task. We are picking up all the waste and the old bones and things like that they've left around. We also will prep their food. It's a lot of work and love goes into prepping their food for them to make sure they have the best nutrition. Some of the tasks that you'll do around the farm won't seem like they're directly related to the animals. That might mean clearing our fire breaks or removing alien plant species and things like that. It's all tied back to caring for the animals, and it's all tied back to making sure the farm is safe from wildfires or anything that could harm the big cats or us. So you will do some general farm maintenance as well, but we have a lot of fun while we do it. You work side by side with the staff, and yeah, it's all tied back to making sure these animals have the best life possible. The beautiful thing about the Big Cat Sanctuary is that it's such a family feel here, and I can say this because I was a volunteer myself to start with before I came here as a staff member. We purposely keep our volunteer program pretty small, at a maximum of 8 volunteers at a time. We really get to know our volunteers, and they really get to know the staff and our animals quite well. And what this does is it creates an environment where the volunteers really feel like they're directly part of the project, because they are, and then they take their stories and their memories and their special experiences home with them, and they tell their friends and family and everyone at home. So it's education, and spreading the word is such an important part of this whole project. It doesn't work without it. So I think the big impact is not just the individual animals that we're helping, but we can't save them all. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of animals that are in horrible situations, and we're not going to rescue them all on our own. It's going to take volunteers coming and making the connections with our animals and our staff, and then taking those experiences home and telling others, so that we create kind of this extended pride around the world.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for all the hard work. And look, he's giving us a little walk by.
Hello, Puddin. Oh, you're looking beautiful today, Puddin. You ready? She's like, it's showtime. Beautiful.